Hello, I'm Padmaja on my YouTube channel Thursday Content. So today we will talk about some of the image transformations using OpenCV. So this is a small, UI kind of screen I have made to talk about what is that we are going to code today. So say we have an image and we want to upload that image through UI and we want to create some kind of transformations. So the backend is what Python is what we are using with OpenCV and the UI would be with the help of Streamlit. So let me just explain a bit. So this is where we will upload a file and this is the image what we are showing here. And for an example, this is a drop down list what we are going to create here. And then I have option number 1, Affine, option 2, rotation, option 3, I have image flipping. So for an example, if I'm selecting any of these three, for an example, I'm selecting an option of rotation or image flipping. The moment I select an option out of these two, I should be getting an image like this. So this is what we are going to get today. So I'll make two videos. The first one would be the OpenCV bit of it, which is the image transformation functions we will be writing for Warpifine, rotation and image flipping. And the second video would be about Streamlit app, which will be for the UI. So this is what the UI should look like. May not be so lucrative, but just to explain, this is how it may look like. So let's get started. So the first file or the first Python file would be image functions, where we would be writing those three functions with the help of OpenCV or SciPy library. So the second one would be about Streamlit. So let's get started with the first one first. So let me import couple of libraries. That would be OpenCV, and then I would import NumPy, and then let me use PIL to import my image, and then another one would be SciPy. So these are the four libraries what we'll be using. So the first function would be about Workifine. So let's say this is about Workifine. And then let's write a function for it. And this takes an image. And let's get the rows, columns, and channels of that particular image with the help of image shape. And then we'll have to create two matrix to set the correct image or whatever affine we are doing. So we have to select two points for which we'll have to develop two matrix. So the first one would be, it is basically a random one what I have taken, not very much random but kind of random what I have taken. So I have given 3 points such as 50 and then 250 and then I'll take another one which is 50 and 200. So this is the matrix what we have taken, and then let's save it as 0.1. And then let's take another one which would be 0.2, and then it would be float 32. The first one I have taken as 50 and 100, and the second one let's take somewhere 250, and then the third one would be 150, 200. Oops. Yes. So these are the 2 points what we have taken, and let's get something like cv2 dot get affine. This is the given function ready-made. I'm not doing anything, and we'll give those 2 points here, pts1 comma pts2, and let's save this one as our points. So this particular function takes 2 arguments. This is one matrix, this is the second one. This will take those 2 points and it will rotate in that particular points. And then I would say cv2 dot affine, and then there are a couple of arguments. The first one would be an image, and the second one would be the points, which is this one, and the third one would be columns, comma rows. This comes from here, and then let's save this in something called as img, and then I would say image dot from array, and then that would be my img, and I would say img converted, and finally we will return this image converted. So what's happening here? This function will take an image array. It's not image.jpg. It takes an image array or np array, numpy array, and then it takes all these rows, columns, and all these operations will happen. And finally, it will return an image array or np array, from which we'll have to convert it into an image. This will be saved in a variable called as image converted or image conv, what I have saved, and finally we will be returning this image. So this does not take a jpg image. This takes a numpy array, and finally we will have to convert this resultant numpy array to an image, and we are returning. So this is our first function for Webapp. So now let's get started for the second function from our presentation what we have shown. So the second one is going to be image rotation. So let's write a function for image rotation, and this as well takes an image, and I would say arc. So this can take multiple arguments. That's the reason I'm just leaving arg here. I'm not giving the arguments as it is. So this can take multiple ones. So this will be decided during a Streamlit app. And I would say nt.image dot nt.image dot rotate, and this takes the image and my arc argument, and let me save this in something called as rotated, and I would say image dot from array, and I would convert this rotated one, and let me save something called as rotated image, because we are writing function for rotated image, and then finally we will return this rotated image. So here as well I'm taking an nd array and converting this into a normal image, and we are saving it in an image rotated variable. So this as well takes nd array. This does not take image as it is, and finally we'll have to convert this into a regular image. And this is a very straightforward function. This is where we are using that scipy library. Very straightforward. And here this takes an angle which we will be giving from our Streamlit app from the UI. This is something we are not hard coding here. That is the reason we are going to use this scipy library. And let's make a third function which we are talking about, image flipping. And Let's write a function. So I would say img flipping, and this as well takes an image, and I would say argument, and it would be cv2.flip. This takes an image, and I would say argument, and let me save in something called as flipped. That would be my variable, and then this is an array, so I'll have to convert it into image to display on my Streamlit app, and I would convert this flipped variable, and finally I'm saving in any variable. So let me save it in image flip, and finally I'll return this image flipped. So here as well, this takes an NumPy array, and it finally flips with the help of CV2 library. And what is the angle, or what is the direction, clockwise, anti-clockwise, all these things, we will give it through Streamlit app. So we are not hard coding here, hence we are giving these arguments, additional arguments we will decide from the Streamlit app. So these are the three functions which we will be using to change or to transform the images. So what is needed for a particular Streamlit app, what we are building right now? We'll have to give a heading or app a heading. So we can give as welcome to image transformations with OpenCV, or we can give transformations app with OpenCV something. And this is a header what we are supposed to give. So we'll have to give a header. So this is one. The second one, we'll have to give a particular option to upload an image. So we'll have to write a line saying, please upload an image, or browse files to upload an image. So we'll have to give this line so that we can upload the image to the UI page. And we'll have to display. So we'll have to be sure what is the image we have uploaded. We'll have to be sure. So we'll have to display it on the UI page. After that, we'll have to give, or we'll have to show the options given from the backend for our image transformations. So we have three options: warp affine, rotation, and flipping, image flipping. So these are the three options what we are building right now. So for warp affine, we have to give two matrix we have already given. And the second one is rotation, for which the angle of rotation we'll have to give it with the Streamlit app, or with the UI page we'll have to give. So here we are not giving in the backend, instead we will be giving it as a slider option on the UI page, which starts at 0 degrees and through 360 degrees. So the moment we drag this slider, this is nothing, this is a slider. So the moment we drag the slider, our image will change or transform into that particular angle. So we'll have to give this one through our Streamlit app. And the third one, this is an angle, yeah. And the third one is our image flipping. So here we'll have three options. So this is basically a drop down list. This is not a slider. So we are trying to cover all the options, or at least some options from Streamlit. So this would be a drop down list. And this is going to be with three options. The first one is 0. The second one is going to be 1, and the third one is going to be -1. So these are the three options we'll have to give as our list. This is going to be a list. And what are these 0, 1 and -1 do? 0 is going to be a vertical flip. This is going to be a vertical flip with an image. So it would be this way. And the second one is going to be horizontal flip. This is a horizontal flip, so this would be like this. And the third one is going to be both vertical and horizontal. It is going to be both flip. So we are going to give these three options. So whatever option is chosen from the Streamlit app here, it will appear as an image here. This is going to be the final image what we will see in the UI page. So this is what we are going to build in this particular Streamlit app.